one thing I will give Ari is she really thugged it to be where she is now. You know, we didn't have a lot to work with at the time because she was a new artist. And, you know, I think with where she was in Interscope and Dreamville, they're still trying to figure out what's happening? Like, how are we packaging it? What's her sound like? What's her look like?
Yeah. And I would, you know, people would assume just because she signed to Dreamville, like automatically it's on, the budget's open up. But but Dreamville, I'm sure at that time they were relatively new as a label.
Yeah.
They're still figuring it out.
They're figuring it out.
It's not like
it's Cause, it's Loot, it's Earth Gang. Like,
yeah. That's a lot of artists.
It's a lot of artists, and it's a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys as well too. So you're still figuring out infrastructure throughout that whole process. Yeah, sure, like you get a JV and you get a bag to like work these artists and stuff, but like you still need the infrastructure.
Still have to package it.
Still.
And I would say like we started to hit our stride when after Pho we put together. She was moved to Brooklyn actually before I moved to LA. And I just had a Polaroid camera and I took these 4 pictures, which ended up being the single covers for her first 4 records before the album. So Pedigree, No One, 40 Shades of Choke. These Polaroids became now this like nostalgic aesthetic. It was gritty, but it was still beautiful and fresh. And I think it was just like a cool moment where she was kind of solidifying, like just being authentically her, you know?
Can I ask, like, so was that intentional? How does that come about? Are you taking these photos and saying, this is what I think an aesthetic looks like? Or are you organically getting into this and then it starts to become the thing?
I don't know. You know, when I think of some of my times, everything was happening so fast.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I was building a friendship with Ari. So we were always also together. And when it came to the point of figuring out, like, all right, we're gonna put out these records. What's the album? First of all, these were the records that didn't make Shea Butter Baby. So, and she loved them.
That's right.
And I loved them. And I was like, I love Pedigrees. I love that song. And we were like, well, let's just do it ourselves. It became one of those things where it was just like, we'll lock in, she'll put on a blue dress and put on these cute shoes. And like, I was just taking pictures of these like pieces of her. And I think the fans liked that. I think, you know, it was just an organic release. It was like feeding the streets, if you will.
Yes.